friends, Krista here. Thanks for stopping by Books and Jams. Again, it is my favorite time of month. Time to put together my pile of possibilities, or TBR, for November. This is probably my favorite video to make every month, and I'm so excited to sit down and roll the dice and spin the wheel and flip a coin and figure out what I'm going to be reading for the month of November. I do this month have 3 books that I'm definitely going to be reading. But before we dive into what I'm going to read in November, let's take a look at my October TBR and see how I did with my flip and roll for October. I have a couple placeholders in here, and I can tell you right now, I did not do very good. The first spin was a 3 that was for a NetGalley, and I had the prompt of Out of My Comfort Zone, and I chose Gleanings by Neal Shusterman, which is already back at the library. I did decide to DNF that book, so I did not get very far. But it's off my TBR list. It's off my series list because I'm just not going to read that one. Then I got Oathbringer for a 1, which was series. And I had to spin the wheel and it got me Oathbringer. Although Warbreaker is technically the next one that I need to read before I can dive into this one. So I did buy Warbreaker on Pango, and I have that in my possession now. And I technically need to read Warbreaker before diving into Oathbringer. So I did not read that one. Then for my third roll, I got a 3, which was NetGalley. And again, I had a spinner wheel and I spun for The Runaway Orphans, which is one of my older books on NetGalley. And I didn't even get to it. I couldn't get the audiobook for it. And so I just didn't even read that one. Didn't even attempt. The fourth spin was a number 4 for Book of the Month, and I had another spinner wheel, and it gave me Bloomsbury Girls by Natalie Jenner, and I did read this one, and I did really enjoy it. And then my 5th roll was a 6 for Christian fiction, and I had the prompt for an out-of-season read. So I chose The Summer of You and Me by Denise Hunter, and I didn't read this one at all either, or even attempt to pick it up. I hold my TBRs very loosely. I like to have a stack to kind of go from, but this was not it for me in October. And that's okay. That's okay. Let's hope November goes a little bit better for me. If you are new around here, I play this game, Flip and Roll, for my TBR each month. And I will roll this die 5 times down my little castle staircase roller that was gifted to me. Depending on what number I get on the die, that chooses what type of book I'm going to read. If I get a 1, it will be a series book. If I get a 2, I'll choose a book for my recommendations cart. 3, NetGalley. 4, Book of the Month. 5 is gifted. And 6 is Christian fiction. And then once I have a number or category, I will flip a coin. I like to alternate between actually flipping a coin and using my little device to flip the coin. But today I have a quarter here. We will be flipping that to decide if a spinner wheel or prompts is going to be choosing my actual book for each roll. So let's go ahead with roll number 1 and get started. It is a 2. Can you see that in there? 2. 2 is a book off of my recommendations cart. So let's see if I will be using a prompt, which I do have all my prompts sitting here in this little jar, this big jar. If I'll be doing a prompt or a spinner wheel, let's see. It's not a very good flip, but it is tails, which means spinner. So a spinner wheel for my recommendations cart. Let me get that pulled up. So here's my spinner wheel for my recommendations cart. I'm going to go ahead and give it a couple shuffles. Shuffle, 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 and a spin. Oh, my volume is muted. Ooh, I love this. What She Left Behind. Here we go. What She Left Behind by Ellen Marie Wiseman. I would like to read all of Ellen Marie Wiseman's books. And this is one of her backlist books that I have and have never read. I don't know that I've heard much talk or chatter about this one at all. This one is about Izzy. 10 years ago, Izzy's mother fatally shot her father while he slept. Whoa. Devastated by her mother's apparent insanity, Izzy, now 17, refuses to visit her in prison. But her new foster parents, employees at the local museum, have enlisted Izzy's help in cataloging items at a long-shuttered state asylum. Ooh, it's an asylum book. Fun. There, amid piles of abandoned belongings, Izzy discovers a stack of unopened letters, a decades-old journal, and a window into her own past. And then in the past, we follow Clara, who's 18 years old in 1929, caught between her overbearing parents and her love for an Italian immigrant. Furious when she rejects an arranged marriage, her father sends her to a genteel home for nervous invalids. But when his fortune is lost in the stock market crash, he can no longer afford her care, and Clara is committed to the public asylum. I'm not even going to read the paragraph about how their lives start to intertwine. I'm into it. I'm very excited. What She Left Behind by Ellen Marie Wiseman. Book number 1 on my TBR for November. Love it. Let's go ahead and roll the die for number 2. A 2 again. So we're sticking... Here we go. 2 again. We're sticking with the recommendations cart. Let's flip that coin. Where did it go? Here it is. Let's flip our little coin and see if we're going to be doing another spinner wheel or a prompt. Ooh, that was a really good flip. A tails again. So here's our rec cart spinner wheel. I did not remove What She Left Behind because I haven't read it yet. So if it comes up, we'll just spin again. But I did just shuffle a couple times, and let's give it another spin. What's it gonna be? Okay. I'm excited about this. This is a Christian fiction. Let me grab it. Okay, so here we have When Silence Sings by Sarah Loudon Thomas. I have a couple books by this author on my shelf, and I haven't yet read any of them, so I'm excited to get to one. This one takes place in West Virginia, and we follow a feud between this woman who, Sarepta, I don't know how to say her name, Sarepta McLean. She kind of lords over these coal-filled hills, taking more than her share of legal and illegal trade alike. She's intent on securing the future of her family name, even though her sons are kind of unreliable, and she has a long-standing feud with the Harp clan that's exploded once again into violence. Yikes. But then there's Coleman Harp, who's a railroad man. He finds himself in this powerful woman's territory, supposedly sent there by God himself to share stories of love and hope. And these two lives intersect. These two clans that are feuding have to come together in some way. The feud grows ever more dangerous, putting the entire region at risk, and these two impossibly different people find themselves on a collision course, and the very lives of everyone close to them will be changed forever. So we shall see what I think about that. I'm really excited to try this author, though. So we've got When Silence Sings for book 2. Fabulous. Roll number 3. Let's go again. And we have a 5. I don't even remember what that is. Is that NetGalley? No. Gifted. Perfect. We're going to choose a book off my gifted shelf. I would like to read as many as I can of these books before the end of the year. There's no way I'm going to get to all of them, but let's see if I'm going to be doing a spinner wheel or a prompt for my gifted shelf. Ooh, that was a very good flip. Ooh, we got heads. See that little quarter head there? So we're going to do a prompt. This is a very limited number of books, so some of these prompts may not work, but we shall see. Let's see if this is going to work. Okay. Yes, it does. I love it. Read a book with an older main character. Let me see what I can come up with. Okay, I have a few options. 2 of them are mysteries and a part of a series. The first of those is the next in the Mr. Darcy and Miss Tilney series, The Perils of Lady Catherine de Bourgh by Claudia Gray. Lady Catherine de Bourgh is an elderly woman who someone is trying to kill her. I have the first book in the Agatha Raisin mystery series, and this one is The Quiche of Death. And Agatha Raisin has just retired, early retirement in the quaint, quiet village of Carsley. She soon finds her life of leisure isn't all it's cracked up to be. So do I want to start a series or continue a series? I think I'm going to pick this third one. I have When the Cranes Fly South by Lisa Ridson. This is a Swedish, translated from Swedish, and is blurbed by Frederick Bachman. What? He writes a big blurb on the back. This reminds me of a man called Uwe. We have an elderly man at the end of his life. Beau's running out of time. Time is one of the few things he has left. These days, his quiet existence is broken up only by daily visits from his home care team. Fortunately, he still has his beloved dog Sixten to keep him company. So we've got this man at the end of his life kind of reflecting on his life and the love of his dog, and I'm not sure where it's going to go from there, but I've heard that it's wonderful. So I think this is the one that I'm going to put. I feel like this is where my heart is leaning. So we're going to add When the Cranes Fly South by Lisa Ridson to my TBR for book 3. I do want to get to these mysteries, but I feel like I've been knocking it out of the park with series lately. And so I'm okay stepping away a little bit. Watch, now I'm going to roll for a series. We shall see. All right, roll number 4. 3 is NetGalley. Perfect. Let's see if I'm going to be spinning a wheel or picking a prompt for a NetGalley book. That was not very great. Heads, which is prompt. You see the head there? So we're going to choose a prompt for number 4. NetGalley book. That, about a president before JFK. I don't think I have that. Let me just open it up real quick and look. Oops. I'm just going to go ahead and pick again. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to find anything with the president. Let's see what this one says. Okay. Read a book with neutral colors on the cover. Can you see that? This way. Neutral colors on the cover. I found a few. I have 3 here that I have on my shelves that are on my NetGalley that I feel like have pretty neutral colors. Neutral colors. This one maybe is the least neutral, but it is very gray, black and gray with a little bit of pink in the lettering and these flowers. The cover, the spine looks very pink, but there's a lot of gray on here, and gray is pretty neutral. So we've got The Vanishing of Castle Moreau by Jamie Jo Wright. I kind of like the idea of this because it's going to be a mystery. It's going to be kind of dark. We have a haunting legend, an ominous curse, a search for a secret buried deep within the castle walls. Like, that sounds really good, especially for November. It just feels gothic and kind of dark. We also have The River We Remember by William Kent Kruger. I feel like this yellow is not neutral, but the rest of it is very muted and like more browns and beige. Yellows and oranges as well. Feels very fall and November on the back. The River We Remember by William Kent Kruger. Did I say that? This one is going to be set in the Midwest, 1950s. A person from this town, Jimmy, is found floating down the river, and investigation of his death causes some drama in the town when everybody kind of assumes that's this indigenous man who lives in the town, and pretty divisive in the town. I love William Kent Kruger's writing, so I'm very interested in this one as well. But then we also have The Stolen Queen by Fiona Davis. And this is going to be another historical fiction with an Egypt bent to it. So we've got Egypt, 1936. We follow Charlotte, who's on an archaeological dig. And then in 1978, New York City, we're talking about the Met, at the Met Gala in New York City. And Fiona Davis loves to take a building in New York and give us some history around it. And so this one is very interesting to me as well. I'm really torn with these 3 because I really want to read all 3. I think I'm going to leave it up to my patrons. I love a poll. So I'm going to go ahead and post a poll in my Patreon and have them choose for me. Are we going to go with like a gothic mystery? Are we going to go with a historical mystery, or a historical mystery set in New York, also with some Egypt influence and artifacts? So I'm very interested in all 3 of those. 2 of them would be another book of the month book. This one would be another Christian fiction. So both of them, all 3 of them, help me with other goals as well. We're going to see what my patrons say. I will put a picture in here because I'll just give them a day or 2. So by the time this goes up, I will have an answer. So I will put a picture of what they chose, but I'm not going to know. All right, roll number 5, our final roll of the day. And we have a 3 again, which is NetGalley. Can you see it? I'll pull it. It's a 3, NetGalley, and okay, we have to flip a coin. Are we going to spin a wheel or use prompts? Very good flip. Heads, prompts again. I kind of like prompts. I like a spinner wheel too. I like both. This is why I do my game, because I love it all. I love it all. Okay, so let's choose a prompt for one more NetGalley book. That's perfect, because I try to read 2 or 3 every month. All right. Oh, I got a couple. Here we go. This is a long one too. Ooh, read a book that fits a prompt from the Buzzword Reading Challenge. Okay, that's kind of fun. Created by Books and Lala. So let me look in my journal and see what I need to do for the Buzzword Challenge this year. I've not been doing very good. So I need June, August, April, September, October, November, December. I haven't filled in any of those. I may have read something, but I haven't sat down to figure it out yet. So November is never in the title. October is a violent word in the title. September is an event. December, alliteration. August is with, in quotes, so it has to say with in the title. June is memory words, and April was animals. That's going to be hard. I don't know if I read books with an animal in the title. These are not the cover prompts. So let me see what I can figure out, and I shall be back. I'm not giving you a selection of books this time, because as soon as I saw this one, I'm like, that's the one I want to do. So December is alliteration, and I know I'm a month early, but I really would like to help myself out and give myself a middle grade book. Not that these are very long or going to be hard, but I just really love reading middle grade, and I'm very eager to read this one, Not Nothing by Gail Foreman. In this one, we follow a young boy who gets in trouble, has to spend some time in a nursing home for maybe community service type of a thing, or as a punishment in a way, but he connects with one of the residents and learns of his story, and it helps him out. So I love an intergenerational friendship. I love elderly main characters. I love middle grade. I feel like this is going to be a wonderful story, and it's alliteration, not nothing. Both start with an N sound, and so we're going to go with this one for my 5th roll. So that's going to be my 5 flip and roll picks. So we've got a recommendations cart spinner wheel, Was She Left Behind by Ellen Marie Wiseman. Another recommendations cart spinner wheel with When Silence Sings by Sarah Loudon Thomas. A gifted shelf prompt of an elderly main character. So I'm going to do When the Cranes Fly South by Lisa Ridson. A NetGalley with a neutral cover, and I'm going to give my patrons a choice of The Stolen Queen, The River We Remember, or The Vanishing at Castle Moreau. And then a NetGalley that fits a Books and Lala Buzzword Challenge prompt. So we're going to do Not Nothing by Gail Foreman. I'm excited about all of these books. I'm excited to see what my patrons are going to pick. But I do have 3 other books here that will be on. Nope, I have 4. Where's my other one? Okay, I actually have 4. So I went and found it. My Patreon book club for the month of November, we are going to be reading The Bandit Queens by Parini Shroff. This is a mystery set in India about a woman whose husband goes missing. Everyone thinks that she killed him off. She didn't, but she is making the best of the cards she's been given, and she sells at a market, and people are afraid to not buy her goods because of thinking that she killed her husband. But I think other women are going to ask her for help with their husbands. Similar in vein to Finley Donovan, I think. I think it is going to be funny and kind of tongue-in-cheek. I'm excited, but set in India. Very cool. The Bandit Queens. And then I have 2 read-alongs for November. First off, I have a Christian nonfiction read-along. This is something I do quarterly here on my channel. And in November, we are going to be reading Prayer, Finding the Heart's True Home by Richard Foster. I do have a schedule for this. We're going to be talking about it in a live for 3 Sundays in November. So find this book if you would like to read along and get started reading it. I just started it today. It's so good already. And we will be discussing this in November over on lives here on my channel. And that is a nice nonfiction for Nonfiction November, the only nonfiction on my TBR. The other group read that I have, it's the quarterly read along for the Middle Grade March Book Club. And so we're going to be reading Laura Amy Schlitz, The Hired Girl. I'm very excited about this, but it's kind of an upstairs downstairs thing. We have a girl who needs to go work in a house in order to help her family. And it takes place in 1911. And we're going to follow Joan, who yearns for real life and true love, but what hope is there for adventure, beauty, or art on a hard scrabble farm where the work never ends? And so she ends up getting a job in a home as a hired girl. So I'm looking forward to this one. It is a Scott Odell Award winner. And Laura Amy Schlitz herself has won the Newbery with a book of poetry, which I've read and loved. And I'm really looking forward to reading another book by her. So join us. There will be a discussion about that one towards the end of November or beginning of December. Because of Thanksgiving, things are a little wonky. We usually do the last Wednesday of the month, but we can't do that this month. So possibly very, very early December will be our discussion for that on the Middle Grade March YouTube channel. And then I do have one buddy read scheduled for November, except that I haven't messaged her back. And I'm going to be reading The Fellowship of Puzzle Makers by Samuel Burr with one of my subscribers. And I'm very excited about this. I picked this up on Independent Bookstore Day. And we follow a guy, Clayton, who's in his 20s. He goes with all of the elderly people and does puzzles with them. And they kind of take him under their wing. So I'm looking forward to this found family, puzzles at the heart of it. I just think it's going to be really lovely. A lovely read, warm, amusing, and engaging. I love that blurb. Draws me right in. Just gorgeous, wholesome, heartwarming, funny, bittersweet, and endearing. I mean, I'm sold by these blurbs. So I'm going to be buddy reading this one, I think, in the month of November. So here's my stack, although it will only be one of these 3 books. But the rest of it are all ones that I do hope to get to in the month of November. I probably will try to fit in another nonfiction. I'm still very slowly making my way through The Story of Mankind. This is the very first ever Newbery winner, but I'm only halfway through. I might push and try to get this done in November. It would be kind of awesome to get it off of my shelf here. I also have started this Christian nonfiction literarily, How Understanding Bible Genres Transforms Bible Study. So this one will probably get finished in November, but I have a lot of books on my nonfiction shelves out there that I would love to get to. So we'll try to squeeze in 1 or 2 more reads in the month of November. And Danny from Danny Dabbles is doing her bucket list-a-thon again, and I will probably be playing that game to come up with another TBR, whether I use all of these books or try to find some other ones to reach. And the goal of that one is to just kind of reach some of your goals or be pushing towards more of your goals as the end of the year is approaching. So I'll probably be doing that in the very near future as well. But here's our stack to start with, our pile of possibilities for November. I would love to hear what you are most excited for me to read and what you are most excited to read in the month of November. Let me know in the comments down below. I love chatting with you down there. If there's no puzzle piece, just choose an emoji of your choice. That's totally fine. That just lets me know that you're here. It helps build engagement so that more people can see my videos. Thank you so much for all of your love and support and comments and friendship. And I really appreciate all of you. And I love that you spent some time with me today. Thank you so much. And I look forward to chatting with you in another video very soon. Bye.